Episode 36 of the Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series with the St. Louis Blues. And after winning our second consecutive Stanley Cup, we deal with the aftermath, the fallout, as we have to somehow scramble to keep this team competitive, all while dealing with the reality that we are going to lose at least a couple of major players. Now we start off with retired players, and surprisingly, Ovi doesn't retire. Ben Blood does. Go figure. Of course, he was the guy that was signed just so that we could clear out the Chicago Wolves. But as you guys get a look at the retired players list, we will quickly scroll through, and you guys can, if you recognize any names, go right ahead. That about does it for that. Goalies, who is leaving the NHL as a goaltender this year? Jimmy Howard. Mike Smith, who was 71 overall. That is rough. But again, Connor McDavid is a RFA, I believe. Clayton Keller is a UFA. This is going to be so tough. Like, we are absolutely going to have to use restricted free agents to, we're going to let guys go. We're going to let guys walk to free agency as a restricted free agent and hope that other people sign them so that we can at least get something for them. That is definitely, I can tell you right now, even though this episode won't have the offseason or the re-sign phase, of course, this is just the draft, it is going to be tough. Now, in this draft, of course, the goal is pretty much just, as always, to get the best players available. We could use some offense, we could use some defense. Goaltending, of course, is the big question. Because Carey Price, of course, is getting up there in age, 33 years old. The question is, when do we want to get rid of him? When do we want to get rid of him? Is Michael DiPietro the answer? Is Luukkonen the answer? Probably not. So if we see that there's a goalie going inside the top 5, this might be the year to trade up. Of course, our biggest bargaining pieces, for the most part, aren't available to be traded anyway. It is tough. It is tough. We are facing potentially a full rebuild. It all depends on how things go here. I genuinely do not know. But our draft pick situation, we have our first, we have a ton of second, or 3 seconds, a ton of thirds, I should say. But the unfortunate thing is the first round pick we have belongs to the Boston Bruins. So it's not exactly that valuable. But let's take a look here at the draft board, and there is a goalie inside the top 5. It is Vitaly Fedorov, and we have no choice but to go for him. Duncan will probably end up being a great player. Nakis, Slager, Colborne, Fedorov is our guy. We have to find a way. He's listed as high elite, so Winnipeg has to be the team. I won't even take the risk. Winnipeg has to be the team. We have to get that pick away from the Jets. How we are going to do that, I do not know. Do I want to sacrifice Drew Doughty, Jack Eichel, Sergachev, Liljegren? Liljegren's an option. Comtois we could get rid of again, but we've already gotten rid of him once. McCabe, this is rough. How are we going to get him without getting rid of somebody amazing? And then if this backfires, we could be in gigantic trouble. In Winnipeg, they are within the division. That is the big problem. That is the big problem. But we have so many guys we have to re-sign. In a way, getting rid of a Doughty, because Drew Doughty, he's not going to be here for the rest of that contract. There's no way. But, Jack Eichel. Do we get rid of Jack Eichel? And that means most likely Klim Kostin would be the guy on the second line right wing spot, most likely. Tough to say. Actually, it was projected to be Eichel and Kostin because Ovechkin's going. But if we trade Eichel, then maybe we re-sign Ovechkin because he's still here and he didn't retire. Liljegren. Let's take a look at the defensive situation. We have Doughty, Oleolevi, Shabbat, Koltsov. I don't think I want to trade a defender. I really don't, because I think that top 6 is pretty much locked in, as long as we can re-sign Oleolevi and Thomas Shabbat. So it comes down to Jack Eichel. Do I want to trade Jack Eichel? I'd re-sign Alex Ovechkin, who obviously probably wouldn't be asking for 9.5, but maybe he would. He was our number one pick. He was our top pick in the fantasy draft. Do we get rid of Jack Eichel to try and secure our goaltending future? Is this not the right time? Are we jumping the gun? Do we have Carey Price for the next few years and we shouldn't worry about it? That is the question. That is the question. Holy shit, what are we going to do here? That's the thing. If we trade Jack Eichel, we could potentially as well get somebody else back. And we have all those thirds that we're going to have to trade up. Like, this is going to be a long episode. Man. Carey Price. Let's look at Carey Price. He's 33, man. I think now's the time. Like, he's in his prime. He's getting towards the end of his prime. That's the thing, though, is... No, Carey Price has 4 years left. It could straight up... No, that's the thing, though. We wouldn't want to get rid of Carey Price. We wouldn't want to get rid of Carey Price. He would be our goaltender for another year or two, and then you would hope that this guy, Fedorov, is ready. Forward-wise, we, of course, we're still good. We have McDavid, Keller. We could re-sign... I think I might trade Jack Eichel to the Winnipeg Jets. I might trade Jack Eichel to the Winnipeg Jets for the first overall pick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Well, we could potentially get Stelio Mateos, who wouldn't be a bad option. He could even play the right wing. We could potentially get him. Trent Frederick we wouldn't want. Who do they have for defensive prospects? Nobody great. A couple of guys. Tulipov, Gamache. Okay. Let's go for the blockbuster, man. Actually, we couldn't even get Mateos. Well, no, we could get Mateos. We just have to tack on somebody else with an expiring deal. Okay. And that's a good thing, is Mateos is still on his entry-level deal. So he'll be cheap enough. We just need somebody. Let's look here. Who has 1 year left and is inexpensive? Cogliano? Would that work? Yes, it would. So Winnipeg's, the number one overall pick, Mateos and Cogliano. I think that wouldn't go through anyway, but I am going to tack on a third-round pick. Not that we need it. Not that we need it. I am going to do that just as a safety net. Would that go through? No. Would that go through? No. Okay. So Jack Eichel. It'd be the first, Mateos and Cogliano as a throwaway. We would have to add a little bit more, but hey, that's where these third-round picks come in. How many thirds would it take to get this to go through? How many? So we'd be getting Mateos, who's not quite Eichel, but potentially a franchise-level goalie. Because if there's a goalie going in the top 5, he can be good. He can be really, really good. We are thinking of our future here, and these third-round picks, it doesn't matter how many of them we get rid of. It doesn't matter. Will it take 4, or would we even have to throw in a second? Which wouldn't be the end of the world. All right, we would have to throw in a second rounder. Do I want to do this? Hemorrhaging, or not hemorrhaging, but I feel like I'm hemorrhaging. Putting so much of our future, I thought that went through. Excuse me. Putting so much of our future on the line for this one goalie. I mean, granted, we would be getting back Mateos, who is 22 and is looking like a solid player, and it would free up quite a bit of cap space. But man, this is crazy. I don't even know, man. They might not do this. They might not do this, because it is asking for a lot from them. But that's the thing. We have the draft picks to give up. I'm not afraid to do this. The fact that I'm still sitting here and still, fucking around with the draft picks, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We free up cap space, we get a solid prospect for cheap, and we get potentially Carey Price's successor. So we have to do it. We have to do it. It's just a matter of how many picks, how many high-end picks are we giving up. But the fact that They do want to give up the pick, too, so this should be a little bit easier. And there it is. Jack Eichel, 2 seconds and 2/3 for Mateos Cogliano and the number 1 overall pick. We just traded Jack Eichel. How good is this goalie? If he is elite, he is franchise, yes! Oh my God! A medium franchise goalie. It worked. Carey Price's replacement has arrived. That's what I was trying to say. High elite, please let him be franchise. We have Carey Price's replacement. Just don't turn into Rick DiPietro. Oh my God, it worked. Jack Eichel, 2 seconds and 2/3 for Mateos and a franchise goalie. Oh my God. We just got a franchise goalie. That's the first ever franchise player we've drafted in any of my series. Let me see that value, baby. Look at that. 69 overall at 19 years old. Almost full value. He is more valuable than Carey Price. Vitaly Fedorov is a St. Louis Blue. And we have our future secured in goal. We have freed up cap space. In the meantime, we are in such a good spot right now, even after losing Jack Eichel. You know, yeah, we just traded away Jack Eichel, but we're still in such a great spot. Even if it's Costin and Mateos as the top line right wings and we let go of Ovechkin. Now, the question is, do I trade up again? Moving on. Or do I just make all these picks? I think I'll just make those picks. Because if we trade up, we're not going to get much, and we do need some depth. We do need as many solid players as we can get. Now, Tampa took an elite defenseman. Duncan was an elite forward. I had a feeling they'd be good. Slager was elite. Colborne was elite. You couldn't have gone wrong, but there was a clear number 1, and we got him. Vitaly Fedorov. Oh my God. So let's sim to our pick. It should be 29th overall from the Boston Bruins. And after all that, I mean, we still have this extra first round pick. Let's see who we can get. We have a medium franchise goalie. Oh my God. Now the question is, who do we take? We have Malkin, Parsons, or Smith Pelly. Actually, hold on. Let me sort here. We got a fringe starter as a goalie. We don't have to worry about that. So medium top 9 right now is the high end. So we could go exact top 6 with Henry Smith Pelly from the Regina Pats. Nikolai Malkin as a defenseman. We could use some defensive prospects. And Matthew Parsons from the Swift Current Broncos. I kind of want to get Parsons. We need Malkin. We need a defensive prospect, for sure. So let's go with Malkin. How good is he? Medium top 4 is not bad. I am going to try and trade for the 30th overall pick from the, and it was ours, of course, from the Columbus Blue Jackets. I want it, and damn it, I'm going to get it. So let's see here. I don't exactly need to give anybody up. I just wanted to see if there was somebody with low potential that isn't exactly worth the time anymore. We're just going to have to go draft picks. So let's go with that Toronto 2nd, and we'll tack on the Toronto, or the Buffalo 4th as well, because whatever. Will that go through? No, it won't, but that's okay. We still have plenty of picks to give up. How about an extra 5th? Will that go through? No, it won't. We're going to have to give up a 3rd here as well. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. We'll give up our own 3rd. That might as well be a 4th. Will that go through? It won't. Damn, they want to trade the pick, but they also know that I'm desperate because I really want this other player. That still didn't go through either. You know what? I don't care. I want that pick. I want that pick. This is a hill I am willing to die on. A 2nd, a 3rd, and 2 5ths for the 30. Wow. Wow, man. These guys are cheap as hell. All right, let's go with Edmonton's 3rd. So 2nd and 2 3rds. And I'm going to tack on some late picks here, just in case. That still didn't go through. How about just the 5th? Really? Wow, Columbus. Assholes. Jarmo Kekalainen. Asshole. You really are. Son of a... Quite close to fair value. Whatever. Even if I just get a 7th out of this, I don't care. It's something. It's an asset. Will this go through? No. Oh my God. Wow. You stingy bastards. Oh my God. Take the picks. Get out of my face. That player better be worth it. I'm going with my gut instinct here. Malkin worked out. I want Parsons. How good will he be? We're going to have to scroll all the way back to find out. He is medium top 6. There we go. We get a good forward, and we get a good defenseman, and a medium franchise goalie. I am so fucking hype right now. Unbelievable. A lot of trades going on in the background as well, but considering it's a fantasy draft to begin with, we're not going to pay too much attention to that. Let's just get through the draft because we're going to be at over the 20-minute mark by the time this ends. Anyway, we traded Jack Eichel for a franchise goalie. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But let's see here. We have Shishkinov, Ristolainen, Warner, and Pittis. Do we have any top 9 guys left? We have one top 9 guy left. That would be Michel Réaume. Nice. 4th round pick. You got a fringe starter as well. And there are no decent defensemen. There are a couple of goalies, though. Not that we need the goalies, but if anything, they'll have the value, and we can use them to trade. So we are going to go with Michel Réaume with our next pick. High. He might end up being low, top 6. That's exactly what he was as a high, top 9. That's not bad, though. That's not bad. He might work out. We've seen Davidson, really push to become an NHL player, so that might not be the worst pick. Shishkinov was medium, top 9, so not the worst pick in the world. You could argue what's better, medium top 9 or low top 6. Next up, we don't need him, but we are going to go with this goaltender, Alexei Markov from Belarus. Let's see how good he is as a 4th round projected. We take him in the 3rd, and he's medium starter. Not bad. Again, we don't necessarily need him, but we can use him to trade to get whatever we need. Next pick is the 22nd pick of the 4th round. Who is available? We have this backup goalie, Novoseltsev. Honestly, I'm just going to take... Well, actually, I should probably go with Bejan, Cesar Bejan, or Sylvain Bourque. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think those are our 3 guys. Those are the last 3 guys that we need. So we will go with Bejan. First up, he is the highest projected. Low top 9's not terrible. We'll get to go with Bourque on this pick. And then we will go with Novoseltsev. And I might just trade away the rest of the picks from there. A couple of low top 9 guys. That's not ideal, but not exactly terrible either. I mean, it's at least worth making the picks, It's at least worth making them, even if you flip them. We'll take Novoseltsev next just to make sure. He ends up being a low fringe starter. Should at least have some value if we choose to flip him. Now, this pick, I don't know. Yeah, see, we don't have any of these areas scouted. Any of them at all. That's because I didn't put too much effort into it. But even then, at best, we would be finding players, low bottom 6, like the Blue Jackets are doing. So let's quickly trade away these picks for picks in the next draft. Let's do that. And let's see. How many picks do we have left? I didn't mean to go to goalies, but it puts a smile on my face whenever I do. That is for sure. That is our last pick left in this draft anyway. Let's flip it to Anaheim. Flip it to Anaheim for a 6th and a 7th in the next year's draft. That should go through no problem. Indeed it did. And we are done. No doubt about it. We have made one hell of an impact on this draft. I said this offseason was going to be crazy. Did I expect to trade Jack Eichel at the draft? Hardly. But everything's coming up Millhouse for us. We get Fedorov, we get Malkin, we get Parsons, and a couple of other decent prospects there. We did a ton of damage in that first round. What a win. The St. Louis Blues just can't stop winning. It is amazing right now. And I am so looking forward to the next episode where we get to see what this team will eventually be, because the craziness is far, far from over. You look at the UFAs, Ovechkin, Keller, Costin, Armia, Jost. You look at the restricted free agents, Connor McDavid, Oli Ulevi, Del Kolstrom, Shabbat. This is going to be a challenge, but I am definitely looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. That is it for this one. You know the deal. Leave a like to support me and my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one.